Hello there, you gorgeous lot. Welcome back to another show here on Crafters TV. It is Friday afternoon here in the UK, which means, of course, it is time for our weekly destination needlecraft show, The Softer Side of Life. And do you know the best news about, well, the best, I'd say, yeah, I'm going to go ahead and say the best thing about it being Softer Side is that it means that Becky is back with us in the studio. How are you, Becky?
Oh, that makes me feel all warm and squishy inside.
Does it?
Yeah.
Oh.
Very well, very nice to see you again.
So lovely to have you back in the studio. We've got a really exciting show today, haven't we? Lots of new stuff and lots of returning old favourites.
Yeah, absolutely. So we've got 3 new launches of these new bags. We've also got Joe's favourite fabric in the world. And we've also got our Builder Block of the Week as well today. As well as our fabric, new fabric.
New fabric as well. So much to look forward to over the next couple of hours. If you want to get in touch with me, you can in all the normal ways. Crafters TV on Facebook, Crafters Companion if you're across on YouTube. Laurie's saying hi already, as is Sarah and Laura too. So get in touch. Any questions, get them in. Right, we're going to kick things off with this brand new... I'm going to come to this in a moment. Oh my. Let me share these with you then. Brand new bag templates. They are massive and they are so practical, which is why I think you're going to absolutely love them. This one here is your table tidy that you can see. Brilliant for loads of craft supplies, going to be excellent as a bathroom organiser. Lots of different ways you're going to be able to use that. Then you're also getting your double pouch organiser. I can see this being great for things like makeup brushes and cosmetics, as well as a whole host of different crafty goodies. And then you're also going to get this one, which is your Get Organising. This is brilliant. It's got those removable pouches on the inside of there too. Now, in this bundle, not only are you getting that, you are also getting a couple of extras. You're going to get the white mesh fabric, which is this one here. You're getting 50 centimetres by 60, which is brilliant, but... This honestly, if you know, I mean, I just couldn't believe it. It's faux unicorn leather. That's what we're calling it. Faux unicorn leather. No unicorns were harmed in the making of this, but I need you. Oh, look at this. It is just. I mean, I just want everything made out of it. I really do. But you're going to get this included. It's going to be brilliant for popping your bags together. It's the iridescent vinyl fabric. So you're getting 50 centimetres by 60 centimetres of that as well. You're going to be able to make some really, really gorgeous bags using both of those fabrics. It's such fun, this vinyl fabric. But these bags, beautiful to look at, but very practical as well.
Absolutely. And actually, you know, you were saying about sort of putting bits and pieces in them. I think these would be great. Making a few of these and having them in the back of your car, in the boot of your car.
Nice.
You know, you could stack quite a lot of bits and pieces in here. But yeah, you've got these wonderful bags. Now, we've used our So Boho fabric on this, but obviously you can use all sorts of others. We've got fantastic fabrics on the show today, which would really look marvellous out of these bags. So you can see if I just sort of turn it around, first of all, you've got this mesh pockets here, and we've stitched across these so you can fit sort of small things in there. Then you've also got a larger pocket over here. As we turn it around, you've got little handles and more mesh pockets here, and then we've got some of this iridescent vinyl making a zip pocket here as well. Same sort of on the next side with a little mesh pocket and the handle so you can lift it up. And then inside we've done a little pocket in there as well for you. So really, really good, really sturdy. Now this is being made with some foam or bosal, so that's why it's so rigid. Bosal.
I've never heard of that.
It's a kind of foam that you use for bag making, and it gives everything a really heavy structure. So you can imagine if you're just using ordinary fabric, even with some wadding, it wouldn't stay upright as much as this one. It would sort of flop down a little bit. So it's entirely up to you how you want this to be. But I think this would be great. You could make this with the kids or grandkids. You could get them to print their own fabric. This is like a summer holiday project, I reckon. Get some white fabric, get them to print their own fabric, and then you can make one of these for each of the kids to put all their bits and pieces in. Great idea.
Yeah, absolutely. Maybe great for sort of a little newspaper tidy as well, you know, down the side of a chair or an armchair or something like that. I think would be a great way to use it. I think it's just a really handy size, isn't it?
It is, yeah, and you can fit plenty in there. Whilst we say sort of desktop tidy, I mean, obviously you can use it for all sorts of other things. I mean, even popping a strap on there and making it into a you know, picnic basket or something like that, or a carry, or you could make that into quite a good baby changing bag.
I was thinking baby changing bag. Yeah, that was one of the things I thought. You know, something you don't want a baby changing bag that you take out with you, but you know, to have on the changing station that you then can sort of move around or pop in the car and take away with you.
And then being able to choose your own colours, not having to sort of buy something and have it in a particular colour. You can make this with the fabrics that relevant to your nursery or your child's room or whatever. You really have sort of lots of flexibility with this. And of course, who doesn't love the vinyl?
Absolutely.
Then we've got the next one, which is the double pouch. So you have a little bag, which is a zip bag at the front or the back, with some little pockets inside there as well. So this is a really great, not just for your sort of crafting bits and pieces, but I think this is really great for your cosmetics. So you could use this one as a toiletry bag here, and then if you have this one here at the front, which is attached with some poppers, if I unzip that, you can see.
It looks like it'd be a perfect size for an iPad, that.
Yeah, I think we might have to try that one out.
Yeah. Oh, hang on.
Yeah, we'll try that out. And then you've got these little pouches, little places to pop your pens or your brushes. But you could, oh, look at that.
Fits like a glove.
So you could just, you could just get rid of these little bits here, and you can make that into a perfect sort of little iPad pouch. Or that would be great. Well done. But I thought this would be great.
Slightly patronising, but thank you.
It wasn't slightly patronising.
Well done.
Oh dear. How many minutes in? 8 minutes in. And we've got, because we've got these little pouches here, this I think would be great for your makeup. You know, putting your makeup brushes here, having all your toiletries in there, and you've got that all organised. Or your iPad.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Absolutely brilliant. Pam E says, good morning, Becky Joe and crew from Central New York. Laura May says, Laura is loving the iridescent vinyl. Everyone is absolutely adoring that. Really, really cool. Is there one more? Have we done
There's
one
one
more?
more.
Oh, there's one more, yeah, of course there is. I thought so.
Yeah, one more. So this is the, can't remember what this one's called. This one's called the Get Organised. So this, to me, is a little bit like a portfolio that you would have. So you've got little...
What would your portfolio be of? What would be in your portfolio?
Well, when I was at art college, my portfolio was massive.
Right,
it was far too big. No, I couldn't even carry it underneath my arm. But it would have all my art materials in there. What would you have in your portfolio? Iridescent fabric.
Iridescent fabrics. It would be sort of a portfolio of Eurovision highlights, I think, would be in mine.
Okay.
Yeah, I reckon so.
Takes all sorts. You could put any kind of thing in here. But the idea was that this would be something you could take to your craft class. You could put all your bits and pieces inside. So you've got little poppers to secure everything together. But then when you open it up, you have got these little pockets here, which fit your Gemini. So we're going to put a couple of these in here. They fit your Gemini plates in perfectly. So you could have your fabric plates in one side, and then this side you could put your other plates, your clear plates here. So you could take this to your craft lessons, or perhaps you just want to keep everything nice and tidy in your craft room. And then you have these little pouches. So you could fill these with all sorts of things. I mean, you could make these for your jewellery. Perhaps you're making jewellery, you could put your findings in there and your gemstones, or you want your dies in here because you're doing a particular project with your card making. You might have your embroidery threads in here, and they've all got little zip pockets here, and then you can actually Velcro those off. So you could have multiples of these and different ones for different projects, and then you could just put the relevant ones that you wanted to use inside your little pouch in order for you to take it out with you and zip it together, or use a poppers, put it all together, and then you've got this little kind of almost like a briefcase, it looks like, once you start sort of taking it out.
Isn't it?
Yeah, really good.
They're three very practical but very gorgeous bags. And also, considering you're getting 2 lots of fabric in there and all the stencils, to get that under £30 as a Platinum member, under $38, I think is excellent, excellent value for money. Any questions you've got about this or anything else on the show, you can get them into me. I must share with you these though. Oh my life. These are so, so pretty. They are some new fabrics for you. They're from Dashwood Studio as well. They're 100% cotton, these, and they're ½ metre in length. Check out that. How gorgeous is that? Just beautiful.
They're stunning, aren't they? They've got like this kind of oriental theme, but it's very sort of elegant in this like dark grey and that almost sort of peachy colour with the gold. I think they're beautiful. They're really lovely fabrics. I was very excited when I saw these, and actually I wanted to make everything out of them, but I couldn't waste the fabric. This is the problem. I think when you've got really beautiful fabrics, you almost don't want to use it because you don't want to waste it. I don't want to cut into it.
They're really
yeah,
buttery
beautiful.
soft as well, aren't they? It's got a nice sort of cool feel to it as well, which is really good. So you've got that from Dashwood Studio, so great quality for you. You've also got it in the cream here too, yeah, cream, that's what we're calling it. You've then got this one here. This is your water lilies, so they're coming included. This here, this one is your flight, we're calling that one. Then this is beautiful as well. I like that these have not got an up or a down way, a lot of these. You can kind of have them either way round, which is nice thing about the print.
It makes it a lot easier to use.
Yeah, absolutely. And that together, I think, is a really lovely combo. This is my favourite, actually, out of all of them. I think there's something quite beautifully abstract about that. I've just had a load of cushions made for mine. Right, say I had a load of cushions made. I've had them made about 4 months ago, and I still haven't bought the inserts for them. I'm the worst, aren't I? And now I've kind of gone off them.
Oh, really? After all that? What kind of cushions did you go for?
I got some, my friend of mine is a sewist, and I got some, we went to, there's a big haberdashery near mine in Manchester in the Northern Quarter called Abercarnes. It's absolutely massive. And they had some upholstery fabric, and I bought a big offcut of the upholstery fabric. So it's really kind of, sort of country hotel looking sort of plaid design. With two back cushions and 2 floor cushions, which are also window seats. So they double up as floor cushions and window seats. And then for the front 2 cushions, the slightly smaller ones, it was a fabric that we've sold here before, actually. It's kind of a Hessian looking fabric. It's got little bees on it.
Oh, yes, yeah, I know.
Yeah, you know the one I mean. But I must get around. Such a shame to have to fold it up and put it in the blooming cupboard. What a nightmare, eh? $7.49. Anyway, enough about me. $7.49, $10.99 if you want to go for these. We do cut your fabrics by hand as well, so really worth bearing in mind if you wanted to go for larger pieces. Maybe get a couple of metres, actually up to 8 metres. We will send that to you as one piece of fabric. So guessing that gives more options, Becky, if we got larger pieces.
Yeah, because with half a metre, you can make a cushion cover, but you can't make many. You can make some pouches and things. But if you wanted to make a shirt, for example, or a waistcoat,
Shirt. Sorry, I thought you said a shark.
If you wanted to make a shark, small.
Baby shark.
Baby shark.
Baby shark. Baby shark.
I think you could possibly do that with half a metre.
Sorry?
You could do a baby shark with half a metre, but I think for daddy shark, you probably need a metre.
Okay. Brilliant. Well, you're lucky. You do baby shark, mummy shark, daddy shark, grandpa shark, all the sharks, because we do them. We do cut it all by hand. You could create a whole menagerie if you wanted to. Let's share with you a few of the other things that are coming up in the show as well over the next couple of hours. Fabric cutter with the carry-all bag and the A2 cutting mat. The brilliant value here, getting the A2 cutting mat free of charge in there. Your Bab of the week is what we've got for you next, which is this one here, your builder block, which is wonderful. This makes 4, 6, 8, 9 and 12-inch blocks, so really cool. 14 different dies in there, really comprehensive user manual, and of course you've got video tutorials for that over on the Crafters Companion website as well. We've also got the Save a Stitch items coming up. This is like our sale section of our soft craft department. These are your plains, neutrals and pastels. 6-piece half-metre collection, 3 metres total there. Excellent price. It's a half-price deal, which is awesome. We've also got this is some batting for you. 4 pieces in here, buy 3, get 1 free. It's an 80/20, so it's going to be great for lots of different jobs. We also have the Threaders Decorative Retro Panel die with the cork as well. So great again for bags, smaller bags, wash bags, pouches, those kind of things. I'm thinking $11.99 or $17.59 if you are a platinum member. We are going to, though, I believe, go straight over to Becky and we're going to have a little look at these new templates. Yeah.
I would do the double pouch organiser first of all. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to be doing the little pouch part, which has got the little sort of places for you to put your pens or your tools and that sort of thing in there. So I thought I'd show you what they look like first of all when you get them. So these are really big templates. Obviously you've seen how large the actual item is, so they're quite significantly big. So you'll see on here how we've put them together. Now they are we talk about, we have this line here, so this indicates that grain line again that we were talking about before, as in which way the fabric is flowing, which way the fabric is nice and straight. So we want this fabric to be running straight like this, so we don't want it to be at a little of an angle. And then we have also these little pieces where it sort of says here, place on the fold. So we would then fold the fabric and then place that fold along that fold line, and then we would then mark out with our heat erasable pens around the edge and then cut those. Now, what I found is the best thing to do is to mark them with your heat erasable pens and then use your rotary cutter to cut out your individual pieces of your design. Now, with this one here, the main panels obviously sort of square with some curved edges. Again, I just use my heat erasable pens. I not mark them all out. I cut them with my rotary cutter, and then I just trimmed around these little corners afterwards. So they're very simple to do. Now, in your little booklet that you'll get with your kit, it will show you exactly how to put everything together. Now, what we've done here to try and make it really simple, because obviously some of these templates overlap each other,
right.
We've highlighted in red which ones we're talking about. So here we talk about the main panel, so we're not highlighting the bit with the zipper, the pouch. And we've also sort of put here how much fabric you'll need and what kind of fabric and bits and pieces that you might need. So we talk about needing a zipper foot, snap fastening kits. Obviously you can mix and match. You don't actually have to do all of the snap fastenings if you didn't want to do that. You might want to put buttonholes and actually buttons in. It's up to you how you want to put them together. This particular design of this double pouch clips together with snap fasteners on the back, but you may want to make it as two separate items. You may not want to sort of zip them together or clip them together. It's up to you. Now down here under cutting preparation, it will show you how many of everything you need to cut out. And I would definitely recommend that you would do your cutting first of all, cut everything out and lay it out in sections so you can see exactly what you've got, rather than sort of leaving it, cutting at one section and realising you've run out of fabric to do the other parts of it. And we will also say down here if you need to cut anything else. So down here we talk about cutting some contrasting fabric that's going to edge those sort of vinyl pockets. Now we've given you 1/4 inch seam allowance throughout, and we've also done a video in order to show you how to put all of these together. But as always, we have given you step-by-step instructions on here, and we've tried to make them as clear as possible to show you how to put everything together. So we're going to start off. I've already sort of cut out bits and pieces, so I'll show you what I've got so far. So I've already got my wadding. So this is the 80-20 batting that we've got on the show today. Now, as I was saying before, you can use bosal or foam. Now that is much more rigid, as you could imagine, with like a foam kind of thing. It's the type of stuff you would use for bags when you wanted a lot more structure. When you're cutting or using a foam, you want to just make everything slightly smaller, more or less 1/4 inch smaller, because you don't want to actually sew into the foam. When you're putting everything together, you want the foam in the middle, and then your stitching basically to go around the edge of the foam. So you're not sort of stitching into it. So I've already cut out 2 pieces of my wadding, and I've also cut out some of my lining fabric. Oh, it's got a bit of muck on it. Some lining fabric here, and this is one of the pastel colours that we've got in the collection today. So we've got some pastels and some neutral fat quarters or 1/2 metre bundles I think we've got on the show. This is the one from the pastels fabric that we've got. And then I've also cut out some of the water lily fabric as well. So I'm going to use that for the outside of my bag.
Great question coming in from Carol. How much fabric do you need for these templates?
They vary. So if I give you an example, for this one, if we look on the back here, you need 3/4 metre of the outer fabric. We need a fat quarter of the contrasting fabric, 3/4 metre of the lining fabric, and the fat quarter of the vinyl, and then 3/4 metre of the wadding or foam interfacing that you're going to be using. So they do vary. So we can go through all of those. So that's the what's that one? That was the double pouch. Then the Get Organised. It's 1/2 metre of outer fabric, 3/4 metre of contrasting fabric contrasting fabric B, a fat quarter of contrasting A, metre of lining fabric, half a metre of vinyl, half a metre of interfacing and half a metre of wadding. And then for the last one, which is the table tidy, which is probably the largest one, you need a metre of the outer fabric, half a metre of the contrasting fabric, a metre of lining, fat quarter of the mesh fabric and of the vinyl, and then a metre of the interfacing and 3/4 of a metre of foam or wadding. So you're looking at around about a metre of each type of fabric to make each one. So different lining fabric, different contrasting fabric, but yeah, around about half a metre, around about a metre for each one.
Okie doke, hope that helps.
So we're going to start off, we're going to be doing our little vinyl pocket first of all. So I've done one already. Now it looks blue on the screen,
yeah,
but actually
is it because it's white behind it? I wonder if
Pardon?
we could look at it from the front if it would look any different.
Yeah, it does.
Oh yeah, it does look different on screen. Yeah, there we go.
Yeah. So it's definitely iridescent, but it looks blue, I suppose, because it's reflecting off the lights here.
A lot of people are going for extras of this
I'm
fabric
not
and putting it in their
surprised.
basket as well.
I'm
It is
not surprised.
available. It is $8.99 or $10.95 on its own, and loads of you adding 2 or 3 extra into your basket.
I think you're going to be using this a lot because you don't just have to use it for making these little kind of pockets. You can sew a whole little makeup bag using this.
Yeah.
That would look lovely maybe with a bit of a lining in it.
I think it's going to be quite strong as well, don't you?
Yeah, yeah. You know, it's quite sturdy. It's not going to rip. And actually, you know, even if I pull it, it's not tearing or anything, or even sort of warping. So it's good quality. So we've already cut a little strip of fabric out here. So this is my outer fabric, but I think in the instructions it says contrasting fabric, but I quite like this fabric anyway. So it's 2 inches, I folded it in half, and then I folded each of my little edges up to the middle section, and then I'm folding it over again. And I'm going to stitch that into here. Now this is where your quilting clips come into their own, because obviously you don't want to perforate the vinyl with any pins. So I'm just going to clip this here. Now, stitching vinyl can be a bit of a challenge because it sticks. So there are a number of options you can do. So with this one, it should go through the sewing machine fine because I'm only stitching along the piece of fabric, which I'm stitching along a piece of cotton, so it shouldn't stick. But sometimes it may stick on this part as it's going through the sewing machine. And so you can use a Teflon foot, or you can use a little piece of tissue paper. So you just put the tissue paper.
Could you use for this, you know, like a slip mat that you use for free motion embroidery when you're using like a ruler? Those plastic, or that might stick.
I've not tried with that.
Yeah, do you know the one I mean though?
That might work, yeah, that might well work. So
there's a word for that piece of kit and it's escaped me.
We've got like an applique mat, haven't we?
An applique mat, yeah.
It might work. I'll try it over the weekend to see if it works. One of the problems you may have is there's going to be a little bit of time where we're going to stitch actually along the down here in these strips, and then you definitely need something you're stitching onto. Okay. So we're going to put some tissue paper on the front and back in order for it to go through the sewing machine. But we're going to start by stitching with this just to make sure it goes through anyway, just by using that little piece of fabric. So I'm just going to change my foot. Not my own foot, but my machine foot. Because that'd just be a bit weird, wouldn't it?
Thanks for the clarifying.
Well, I don't want people to be confused and think, oh, Becky's changing her shoes under the counter.
Aww.
I've got different kind of sewing shoes. Yeah.
We could all just wear flip-flops though, couldn't we? No one would ever know.
I think we'd get into terrible trouble if we were wearing flip-flops.
I think you're right. A pair of Birkenstocks at least, you know, keep a touch of class going on.
So I'm just putting my tissue paper underneath here. Actually, let's try it without. Let's just see if that goes through. So you can see here, as I'm trying to move this, as I would do a normal piece of fabric, it's sticking a little bit. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put my piece of tissue paper just along this side here, just so everything moves nice and smoothly. And I'm going to use my 1/4 inch seam allowance.
Pammy says that on the website to refer to when we order the fabric. It will be on... I'm going to get Georgina to check if the ingredients list for the stencils is in the description, Georgina. Brilliant. If not, it is on the packaging when they arrive, but I understand why it'd be good to have it now. Michelle says, hi everyone from a very sunny London. I have these templates and the new fabric is beautiful, so of course I had to buy everything. Absolutely did. It's glorious in London. I've seen people sunbathing topless on Clapham Common on Instagram today.
What, today? Oh.
Yeah. Gentlemen, I'll add, not ladies. I had to clarify, yeah.
So I've stitched along here now, so you can also do a second row of stitching down here, but you can see by using that little bit of tissue paper, it just made it a little bit easier for everything to go through. Now what you can do is if you had your, if you didn't have any tissue paper, you can buy a Teflon foot. This is not a Teflon foot, but you can buy those through sort of your haberdashery shop. But what I also found was quite useful is I put a piece of clear tape on the back, so not washi tape and not low tack tape, because that's got a bit of a it's almost got a bit of a sort of matte finish to it. You want something quite shiny, but then that will help it sort of glide through because it's nice and smooth. But for me, the tissue paper way was much easier and much quicker to do, but there are different options for you to do for that anyway. So we're going to start by going to take our lining panel, which was this one here, and we're going to just put that on the top, that little thing here. Now what we want to do is we want to stitch down here like so, to get those kind of little lines, those little areas where we can put our products into. I seem to have lost all my quilting clips, they just disappear.
Right, that's why you just need to have shed loads of them, isn't it?
Yeah, clearly. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut some of my tissue paper so it's not too cumbersome.
Any questions you've got, keep getting them into me. Crafters TV on Facebook, Crafters Companion over on YouTube. Remember, we've got another show coming up later today as well. Myself and Craig are here with a glue school as well. That's coming up at 6 p.m. in the UK, 1 p.m. if you're over on the East Coast. And then you get a few days off from me. You've deserved them. You deserve them. You've earned them, I think. I will be here. Becky Redican will be here tomorrow, and with Debbie Fisher. Oh, I'm just going to miss her by a day. We've got Play Your Crafts, right, a memory book masterclass, and then Georgina's last ever show. Ah, it's sadder than that. It's a Totally Tiffany show tomorrow night. There we are. That will be here with Becky and Tiffany, which will be lovely. And then Ben's back for a few days on Sunday.
In between holidays?
Sorry?
In between his holidays?
He's been back from holiday.
Yeah.
He's just off on holiday tomorrow. Yeah, he'll be back Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, I believe. Yes, and I'll be back with you on Wednesday. And by the way, warn yourself, if the Eurovision chatter has been too much already, it is Eurovision week next week. So batten down the hatches. We're even planning something with socials as well. So it's going to be epic.
What is your favourite Eurovision song? Is it one that's on this year or?
No, my favourite one is from 2008 by Charlotte Perrelli. Her name is, from Sweden. It was called Hero.
Oh.
And it's a really obscure, not hugely popular one. I'm not singing it for you, George. The lyrics are, out of the sky like a star, out of the night like a star, like a hero, love will survive. That's a...
Oh. Did that win?
Sorry?
Did that win?
It didn't. It barely qualified, actually, and didn't do very well at all, but it's my absolute favourite. The one that Georgina's favourite is the Icelandic entry, I think, from the year that didn't happen. Is that right, Georgina? No. Oh, the winner in 2014, Denmark, is Georgina's favourite. George, have you got a favourite? Have you heard this, Becky?
I know, you're a little bit insulted, really, aren't you?
Never watched it. Wowzers, trousers. George has never watched Eurovision, by the way. That's why I'm dumbfounded. Becky, is it something that you watch?
I have. I used to really like Terry Wogan when I was younger.
Oh, I didn't like Terry Wogan doing
I quite liked him. But for me, it was like the heyday in the 80s.
It's the heyday now.
Well, I quite liked a bit of, some Bucks Fizz.
Bucks Fizz?
Yeah.
Debbie Robinson is the biggest Bucks Fizz groupie of all time.
Really?
Yeah. She's a super fan. She's even knocks on their hotel room doors when she finds out where they're staying. She gets to tell the stories. It's very, very funny. Oh, that's Georgina's favourite is 2010 Azerbaijan. I didn't realise it was that one. There we go.
It makes me think that maybe if you were on Mastermind, your specialist subject would be the Eurovision.
It would be Eurovision 2015 onwards.
Oh, okay.
I don't think there's anything I don't know about Eurovision from 2015 onwards.
Really?
That's reasonably, reasonably.
Maybe people can call in with some questions to see if we can catch you out.
Yeah, you have to do better than that. That was pre-2015, but it was Alexander Rybak, Georgina.
Right. So what I've done here is I've just stitched all the way along these lines here, but I've stitched with my tissue paper on. So now I'm just going to peel my tissue paper away. It should just tear it off.
Rachel, our social media superstar, also never seen Eurovision. Oh. And our US friends are not left out this year because they have the Great American Song Contest happening at the moment over in the US.
So is that basically the same thing?
It's from the producers of Eurovision. It's a very similar format, but they've had heats over like consecutive weeks and then a semi-final and a final. Did you hear this, Becky?
I did,
Do a Play Your Crafts Right special with Eurovision questions. Unfortunately, it's a week on Saturday, and I'm not in next Saturday. I was meant to be here, but obviously I'm off for it, so I won't get to do that, I'm afraid.
Will you be going to a party? A Eurovision party?
No, absolutely not.
Oh.
Imagine, like, what's your favourite thing to watch on the TV? Like, yearly event that you love to watch?
Star Wars.
Star Wars. So imagine having a party to watch it and then everyone talking over it.
Yeah, that's true.
It's not the one.
Yeah.
No, so I had 6 people. We were only allowed to have 5 people around, so there were 6 of us last year to watch it at mine, and I had to eject my friend Lee because he talked too much. So this year there's only 3 of us watching it at mine, and that's going to be perfect because I can trust them to not talk.
So we've done that bit here. So you can see how I've stitched on that. You can just peel that off with a pair of tweezers, those little bits of paper that are caught there. But that just allows you to try and stitch through that iridescent.
It looks amazing.
That vinyl. So we're going to do exactly the same on the other side as well. And then we're going to put everything together. So you're going to be making this, it's quite a simple item to put together. It's not going to take too long. Now we've not sort of sewn down the sides here because when we put everything together, that's going to be stitched in one. But you can see how to sew that iridescent fabric. Now, if I take a piece here and I show you how it doesn't go through the sewing machine, you will see how important it is for you to sort of try and find an option. So if I put that here. Now I'm just going to stitch through, and it's not. I'm having to sort of push it through, which is quite tricky because it keeps sticking. It is possible for it to stitch, but it tends to be a little bit trickier. Now, if I put another piece of tissue paper on either side of that, you can see how quick and easy that becomes. So it's just. Obviously, different sewing machines will have different ways of stitching, but it's definitely worth. You see here that goes through nice and smoothly. It's definitely worth looking at that sort of inexpensive option, so you don't have to worry about necessarily getting a Teflon coated foot. You can just sort of stitch it that way. So it is possible to stitch it, but it does tend to be a little bit tricky. With a small piece like this, it's not too bad, but if you're using a much larger piece, like one of these large pockets, it becomes quite difficult. So we're going to carry on stitching onto this one as well to do this other part of the lining.
Lots of people chatting away about these stencils. Joanne says that the Get Organised pouch is going to be perfect for all of my Sanntangle stencils. I love that.
That's a great idea.
Kirsty says, love Eurovision. A group of us message each other on Messenger, so no talking, but we're having a sort of remote party with wine and nibbles, but in our own homes. That's the perfect combo for me. Me and Debbie Robinson, we text each other all the way through it.
Really?
Like in the little breaks and yeah, when they're like doing the postcards and stuff. So Pammy says, I think I need to put an extra vinyl in my cart. Pammy, I do not think you're alone in thinking that. A lot of people are going for this bundle that's on your screen at the moment and then adding the extra vinyl in. The vinyl is available £8.99, £10.95, either as an extra or as a standalone. If you want to just get some of the vinyl and use that for some projects maybe that you've got lined up in the near future, then absolutely feel free to do that.
I think that would be really, the vinyl would be really good for those little pouches we had a few months ago. We did a launch, I think they were called Wash Day pouches. Wash Day pouches.
Wash Day pouches?
Yeah, we did, I think they're called Perfect Pouches, they were called. And they were like wash bags. We did 3 different types, and each one had 3 different sizes. Now some of those would be really great using this vinyl fabric.
Brilliant.
There's something else that you may already have purchased. You might think, oh, actually, I can make some of those.
I'm sure loads of people at home have got this tissue as well from their subscription boxes that they receive every month. So definitely putting that to good use.
Yeah.
I think the kids call this upcycling, Becky.
They do. So we've done those ones as well. I've made a terrible mess here. John will be really upset when he comes into the studio after the show and sees the mess I've made. So you can see here, we've got those 2.
You should have seen Debbie Robinson after we did the gilding flakes the other day. She was gilded, the studio was gilded, the floor was, everything was gilded.
Was it a bit like that James Bond film with Goldfinger, where everyone's sort of all glittery?
Absolutely. Yeah, she, even when she got home, she had to shower afterwards, she was so gilded. Yeah.
So we've got here our outer fabric, and we've got our what's this word called? This
the water
batting,
lily.
wadding, yeah, batting or wadding. So you can secure this if you've got some of our spray glue. You could use some of that, or if you've got some bondable batting, you can just iron that on. I'm just going to pin this for the moment, so it's all together. And this is going to form the outside of the bag. So we're going to have, this is going to be at the outside, and then that will be the inside of each of those little pouches, so it will look like that. Let's get the next one. So the next thing we're going to do is the zip that we're going to stitch around the outside, around the outside, around the outside. Like that, just pin those together. And put that just there. So I think these colours work so well with this new fabric and this iridescent.
Really well together. And you wouldn't look at them and necessarily imagine they would go together at first, would you?
No, but they're absolutely beautiful. Now, what I've got here is this is the zip from the from our Safer Stitch products that we've got on the show today. So this is peaches and cream. If I show you what they look like, if I can find a little box.
We did have a collection of the zips, but they have sold out as a collection. Some of the individual elements of it, though, are still available. So head on over to the website and you'll see that.
Yeah, so you can see, you can have a look on the website. We've got some different zips here. So these are like our zips on the roll. Well, they are zips on a roll, but they're a little bit thinner.
Zips on a roll, zips on a roll. Zips on a roll.
They've got these different colours in them, which I thought worked really well. So these are a little bit thicker, a little bit heavier. Did I sigh when you were singing Zips on a Roll?
No, you just looked a bit alarmed.
I do find you quite alarming.
Do you?
Yeah.
That's exciting though, isn't it? What a
right.
review. I'm going to get that on my LinkedIn, on my TripAdvisor.
What?
I find you quite alarming.
So I'm putting, just using some plain pink cotton fabric here. And I'm just putting a piece on either side of my, my zip. And I'm going to stitch across the zip here with a 1/4 inch seam allowance. And then this zip is going to go all the way around this, this little pouch, apart from this side here. So it's going to stitch all the way around so we can unzip it afterwards. So we're going to just stitch across here, and then we're going to make sure before we stitch the other parts, the other end of the zip, that everything matches up and it's all the right size.
Amazing. Very busy, of course, on the website on these. Lots of you going for them and adding in the extra vinyl, which is definitely worth doing. Do we have video tutorials for these on the website, were you saying, Becky? We do. Excellent. So go and check those out. And actually, you know, I mean, if Becky's putting them together for you, now you can actually go and look at those videos anyway before your product arrives, if you so wish. So do bear that in mind also. But again, you'll be able to watch this show back any time you like, which is also brilliant. So over on our website, it lives forever. There's years and years of shows over there on the website. We are immortalised. The hair, all the different haircuts, the weight gain, the weight loss. It's all there. You can go back. It's quite an interesting journey if you want to go back and watch from the start.
An interesting journey. I like that. So I'm just going to make sure that everything fits. So I've put my two pieces together, and I've stitched across here, and then I've just folded that piece of fabric over so it makes this nice pouch. This is the bit that's going to be in the middle down here. So this is going to be almost the spine, as it were. So if you think of this almost as a book, that's how it's going to be. So if I clip this here, I'm just going to very quickly make sure it fits before I trim it. So around here. So I think these zips are lovely, and they're so good if you're going to be using, you know, you're going to be doing bags and that kind of thing. It's definitely worthwhile having zips on a roll.
Zips on a roll, zips on a roll, zips on a roll, zips on a roll. Hey! Have you not heard that song?
Yeah.
You're not normally here for foam on a roll?
I have heard it, yeah.
I don't do foam on a roll anymore, I refuse.
Why?
But zips on a roll, I'm all about zips on a roll.
Why do you refuse?
I'm just bored of foam on a roll.
Oh.
Yeah, foam on a roll is done. That's what we were saying the other day.
Oh. That sounds like fighting talk,
Rest in peace,
really.
foam on a roll, yeah. As a song, you know. Well, you know, that's it. I'm afraid from this day forth, I will not sing foam on a roll anymore. You heard it here.
See, I always sing Build a Block of the Week.
Sorry?
I always sing Build a Block of the Week.
Build a block of the week.
Build
a block of the week.
And now, when I look through the products that are coming through, I always sort of sing to myself when I read Build a Block of the Week.
Oh. I'm not going to sing it. I think it could be your thing.
Yeah, okay.
Okay. I'm going to stick to zips on a roll.
But you said you did, as opposed to foam on a roll?
Instead of foam on a roll.
Instead of foam on a roll.
Yeah.
So go on then. Zips on a roll.
Zips on a roll. Zips on a roll. Hey. Very, very busy. That vinyl is absolutely flying off the shelf. Let me recap for you exactly what you are going to get included here in this bundle, because you are going to get all three of the stencils, of course, which are going to create this awesome bag. So you've got the table tidy, which is this one just here. You've also then got the double pouch organizer. Absolutely gorgeous, that one. Then we've got the Get Organised as well, which is brilliant. You're getting that vinyl fabric and the mesh fabric as well, which is brilliant. $36.75, $46.95. Loads of you adding the mesh, the vinyl, extra vinyl fabric into your basket, which is brilliant. Oh, I'm so excited, Becky, to see what people come up with using that vinyl fabric.
Yeah, there's so many different options you can make with this. I think you can, you know, it would be. I almost think a little hat, little rain hat, almost like a. What's his name? Paddington, a Paddington hat made out of this for a festival.
Paddington hat?
You know, like he has a bit of a trilby, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Trilby kind of, you know, not quite a bucket hat, a little bit more sophisticated than a bucket
I'd
hat.
like to rock a hat, but I'm not sure. I've not really found one that works.
I think with this vinyl, you need to have a couple of air holes, though, if you're making it into a hat.
Air holes, yeah.
So I think you're headed.
Breathable.
Yeah.
For the people that breathe out of their head.
There are some of them, I'm sure.
Must be.
So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to start placing this against this sort of panel. So we're going to flip it around this way, and I'm going to start placing this around. So this is going to be, this sort of zip gusset is going to be at the base where we've got the vinyl. And I'm just going to start pinning that all around.
Amazing. Any questions you've got, get them into me. Crafters TV on Facebook, Crafters Companion if you are over on YouTube. Do let me know. Pam E says, have I got a chance to listen to any of the songs yet from the American Song Contest? There's some good ones apparently. I haven't. I did think though, Pam, I was going to maybe listen to some on my way home this evening as well. So maybe I'll have a little listen for them then.
Does it take you a long time to get home?
I'm not going home tonight. I'm going down to Peterborough this evening. But 3 hours, 2 hours home, 3 hours to Peterborough.
I always like something I can sing to in the car.
Sing?
I like to sing to something.
Yeah, I like to listen to Encore Radio, which is the musicals radio station.
Oh, okay.
It's a radio station, just all musical theatre.
Oh.
That's a really good one. It's a good variety of old and new, you know, ballads and real big show numbers. It's a really great one. I do like an audiobook as well. I need to get Sarah's audiobook downloaded.
Oh, is that out already?
It's out. The book's out, yeah.
The book's
out. You can get it as an audiobook as well, I believe. I think the audiobook is out already.
Do you know, I like an audiobook when it's done by the same person that's written it. Yeah.
I think audiobook's one of those things, if you don't like listening though to the person, then I can't listen to the book.
Yeah.
I got Tom Allen's audiobook and I just couldn't, it was just too much for me.
Really?
The Posh Guy, yes. But Miriam Margolyes' audiobook, oh, riotous. Absolutely riotous.
So I'm going to use another piece of tissue paper because while I'm stitching around here, this piece here, we've got, this is going to be at the bottom of my sewing machine, so I don't want it to stick. So again, I'm going to use another piece of tissue paper. So I won't even use a whole sheet of tissue paper for doing this. And obviously with the larger pieces you can sort of reuse them, but it's definitely worth having this at home if you've got some. So I'm just going to stitch around here.
Amazing. Remember, lots happening for the rest of the day here on Crafters TV, myself and Craig. Craig is in the strangest mood I think I've ever seen him in. He's in a very funny mood, so let's hope he's calmed down by the time we get to that later show.
I doubt it.
Won't get him any sweets or anything between shows because he's full of beans, he is, that boy today. That's happening. It's also Georgina's last day, don't forget. No, it's not Georgina's last day. Well, I'm not going to be here, so we may as well just call it your last day today because, you know, I'm not going to be here tomorrow, so.
That's really sad. It's an end of an era.
It is the end of an era. Oh, she's going to share her Instagram, apparently.
Oh.
If you want to follow Georgina, it's at Georgina Backpack. I don't think I follow at Georgina Backpack. It's hot. It's hot off the press, apparently. Yes, if Instagram was some sort of printing machine. Yes, so going forward, follow Georgina on her journey. Where are you off to, Georgina? Hawaii first, then Mexico, and then after there? Central, and then all of Central and South America. For how long? Maybe 2 years. We think Ben loves a holiday. Georgina's sat in there saying, oh yeah, Ben also had last Saturday off and this Saturday. She's going away for 2 years. What amazing. Could you do a big travel trip like that, Becky?
No, I never did. I mean, I travelled to China. I normally go to China every year. Because I haven't done that.
To China?
To China, yeah. I haven't done that for a couple of years, and I do that on my own. But 3 weeks is as much as I can take of my own self without other people. So I'm really, I think Georgina doing some of this travelling on her own is really
it's great. I did 3.5 months before, I think, and that was amazing. I would absolutely love it. But yeah, we wish you all the best, Georgina. Look after yourself.
I'm just stitching all around.
Oh, she's not actually listening. I think she may have checked out already, Becky. I'm not sure she's actually. She's here in person.
I think she just ran out.
I think you know she's here in person, but mentally she's already on the plane by the sounds of it.
And who can blame her? I mean, Hawaii sounds fantastic, and I'm sure I've seen that we've got a few viewers from Hawaii, haven't we?
We have got some viewers in Hawaii. Yes.
We should find out all the best places.
For Hawaii, do let us know in the comments.
Yeah. Where's the best place to go? enjoy yourself.
She's staying in Waikiki, apparently. There we are.
Okay, so...
Anything to bear in mind specifically with putting a zip into these bags, Becky?
Yeah, don't do what I've done, which is twisted the zip.
Okay.
So I would say don't do that.
Yeah.
But we're just going to muddle through that bit. Yeah, I mean, I just slow it slowly. Possibly don't be doing it on a live TV show. Would be my recommendation.
We'll just pretend it didn't happen, that's fine.
Yeah.
You'll get away with it, you're with friends, you're all right.
Yeah, exactly. So, yeah, I mean, just, it's a little bit sticky here because I've moved my tissue paper. That's why it was not sewing round very easily. We're just going to stitch around here. So I'm just going to ignore the fact that this little bit here has gone slightly awry. So take that piece of fabric off.
Very, very busy on that faux unicorn leather.
I'm not surprised because there's just so many things we could do with that, isn't there? It's going to be a fantastic buy, definitely. Now I'm going to have a little bit of fiddle around with this and just change this slightly because I've actually ended up with a little bit too much of my zip here and I've actually twisted it around the wrong way. So I'm just going to fix that for the moment. But you can see how that's coming together. So once we've sewn everything around, then that will be the outside of our bag. This will be the zip, and then that's going to be the inside of the bag with these little zipped areas here. So I'm just going to take that apart and just give that a little bit of a fix right now.
Sure, right, let me show you those new fabrics that we've got on the show as well then. So you can see here, they are absolutely gorgeous. This one is your first option, really lovely sort of blush, peachy pink and blue in there. That's your New Beginnings Swan. You've also got the cream swan. Then this one here is your water lilies. You've got the flight. You've also then got this one just here, which is your large flower, according to George, large flower. That's navy spot, the next one there. Mustard circle, lovely, lovely jubbly. What is this one? Pale dash, it's the thing. They're doing some accents in there for us. $7.49 or $10.99. Right then, we are going to give you an opportunity to check out your basket. So whilst you do that, let's share with you all the details of the fabulous club we call Club Inspire.
Welcome to Club Inspire, the crafters' companion community where you can feed your crafty obsession. Join our fantastic loyalty club today and receive 20% of your first order. We'll also give you 250 points to help get you started. Other benefits of joining Club Inspire include exclusive special offers and discounts for Club Inspire members only, exclusive sneak peek previews of brand new product launches, and of course the Club Inspire community group on Facebook, where you can access exclusive content such as downloads, offers and inspiration, and of course you can chat and share your makes with other members. You'll receive 1 point for every pound, dollar or euro you spend, and the more points you receive, the more benefits you'll unlock. So what are you waiting for? Sign up, join the club and start rewarding yourself today.
Quick Buy, all your crafty must-haves in a flash. Take all the hard work out of patchwork with the Gemini Build-A-Block Patchwork System. This innovative collection of multimedia dies allows you to create patchwork blocks with ease and total accuracy. This set includes 18 dies to cut a range of shapes and sizes for patchwork or quilting projects. They can cut multiple layers of fabric at once. They include an accurate 1/4-inch seam allowance, plus all of your pieces are cut exactly the same size every time. Follow your own creative inspiration or look through the 20 patterns laid out in the guide. Not enough? There's an additional 60 patterns online. And right now, we have amazing offers on the Gemini Build-A-Block Patchwork System. Quick Buy, get yours now. Quick Buy, all your crafty must-haves in a flash. Put away your tape measure and fabric scissors. The Threader's Fabric Cutter offers accuracy and precision with every cut. This handy tool slices through fabric in a guillotine style. Its ergonomic design features a comfortable and protective handle, so it's safe and easy to use whether you're right or left-handed. Its 45mm rotary blade will cut up to 6 layers of fabric at a time, so your sewing, quilting, and upholstery project times are cut down to size. It's equipped with a measuring guide in metric and imperial for a perfectly accurate cut every time. The built-in grid ruler has 30-degree, 45-degree, and 60-degree angle lines, so you can cut fabric on any angle, including the bias. Quick buy, all your crafting must-haves in a flash.
Must-haves in a flash, that's exactly what they are. Talking of must-haves, I want to talk to you about this. We've got a brilliant sewing deal of the week. Is that how you sing it?
Yeah, the block of the week.
Sewing deal of the week. That's what we've got next. And it's this, you've got the fabric cutter with the carry-all bag, which is massive, may I say. It's A2 in size. You can get absolutely loads in there, and oh hello, that, and then I'm not tall enough for this. You'll also get the A2 cutting mat. You're getting the cutting mat free of charge. That's worth £30 or $30, which is amazing. Right, I want to also share with you the builder block again. You saw it a little earlier in the earlier wake-up call, and you guys absolutely loved it. Very, very busy at the moment on this. 25% off, which is awesome. It's your Builder Block Plus. So what does Builder Block Plus mean compared to Builder Block Au Naturel?
So if you've had the original Builder Block, they are squares, half square triangles and quarter square triangles.
Right.
So this is rectangles, half rectangles, triangles and isosceles triangles. So they complement each other.
Okay.
So they're not going to be exactly the same shape, so obviously different ones. But because of the way the Builder Block is set up, you can use both of this one and the original Builder Block together to create more different designs. So those are the options that you can do. And then we also have these expansion packs. So you can get sort of different sizes of squares and triangles that aren't in the Builder Block system automatically. So you get like the half increments going up. So we've got lots of different options for you to sort of mix and match as to what's going to work for you.
Sounds marvellous. And I'm guessing we can use this then with the original Builder Block or as a standalone?
Absolutely,
Brilliant.
yeah.
A really comprehensive user manual and covered is included in there. There are full video tutorials over on the website. I mean, it just makes it so easy when it comes to popping together your quilting blocks. 4, 6, 8, 9 and 12-inch blocks, all possible there with your Builder Block Plus, which your sewing deal of the week, which I love. But we're going to get back to the lovely Becky's demonstration. If anything you want to know, any questions, please get them into me. Crafters TV on Facebook, Crafters Companion if you are across over on YouTube. How are you getting on, Becky?
Okay, so we've done this first part. So this is the outside of my bag. So you can see you've got your zip going all the way around the outside, and you've got your inside here as well. So the gusset is going to go around here. So we're just going to put the rest of this together.
I love that word.
What, a gusset?
Yeah, it's a good solid word, gusset. A double gusset. What's a double gusset?
I've got no idea.
Oh.
I haven't got a clue. Should I know?
Don't know.
I'm a bit concerned.
I'm guessing it's a seamery? Seamery? No.
You're just saying random words to me now. Seamery.
Seamery. It's a sewing term, I think, isn't it? Or
double gusset.
Double gusset.
I don't know.
Yeah. I'm not sure.
I've no idea. Maybe. Oh yes, a double gusset would be when you've got like a file. And you've got, it's the bottom of the file sort of folded up. So it would only be this size normally, but then it could open up, almost like a concertina kind of thing. It could open up and be bigger. Would that be a double gusset?
I'm guessing it might be.
Well,
sounds legit.
I'll let you know. So we're going to put this next part of the bag on here as well. So I've undone the zip, and then it's just a question of making sure I've got everything around the right way. Let's put that like that. So just getting, this is going to go like this around here. So I'm just going to make sure I attach my zip around to this part of my bag and pin it and then sew it all together. And then it should all come together nicely.
So. Amazing. Does the fabric cutter fit in the carry-all bag? Asks Rhonda. Rhonda, it does indeedly doodly.
Indeedly doodly.
Yep.
I'm just trim that a little bit there.
It's a new one. I don't know where it came from.
I love that fabric cutter. I really want to get one of those.
Have you not got one?
I've not got one, no, and I do
You
need
need to have a
one.
word with Brent.
Yeah. I don't want to take one home today because it would be a bit cumbersome on the
Are
train.
you on the train today?
I am on the train
Have you
today.
managed to get yourself a cheeky upgrade recently? I've heard it's not very good at the moment. We've got this little app that we use, haven't we, Becky, where you bid for a little cheeky first class upgrade.
do.
And sometimes you get them for about £15, which on a
Yeah.
long journey is very good value.
It's definitely worth doing if you could get, you can get it at a good price. But yeah, lately it hasn't been particularly cheap. So I can't.
Well, fingers
really
crossed, have you
justify-
bidded today?
Pardon?
Have you put a bid in for today?
Not yet.
Oh, well, you better
No.
get a wiggle on. What time's your train?
4:30.
4:30.
4.
Oh, you're
Yeah,
going to be
so-
out of here, aren't you? Like a
No, I'm not. Not 4:30. 5:30.
5:30.
I give myself a bit of time.
Okay, yeah, that's all right. We can
yeah.
sit and have a cuppa then after the show.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
one of those delicious cupcakes that were baked by Christina for
Oh, my
Georgina
goodness, they
going
were
away.
delicious,
Oh
weren't
my
they?
word. They were like, they defied gravity. They were like so light, weren't they?
Yeah,
delicious.
they're absolutely delicious.
Georgina's not having one. There's none left, Georgina. No, there's none left. They've all I'm just having a look. No, they've all gone.
Yeah, all gone. We've had them all. No, we would not do that. We would not do that.
I would. I was going to have a second one. I thought I'd better leave it a few hours first before I give people a chance before I get a second one.
Yeah, I think that's probably quite right, really.
Gorgeous George the joystick, how many have you had? You've had one, okay. George is my barometer. If George has had two, I would have had two, I'd have gone and got another one right now. And I'd be like, well, George had two. He's definitely up for a second one. I'll fight you for it.
I think we need more. I wish I had more clips. I don't know what I've done
Do you want me
with
to get you more clips? I'll get you more clips. I'm off for more clips.
He's going to get a cake.
He's going to get a cake.
He's secretly sneaking out of the studio to go and get a cake. But no one will know. We're going to keep it all a secret. So I'm just going to, what I've done around the corners here, so I've just sort of snipped into these pieces here, so it goes around my corner a little bit easier. Now, the way of doing this, first of all, is to work on your, we're just doing I've done this one together with the lining and the outer here. This one is just using the lining, and then I'm going to put the outer piece over the top afterwards. So I'm just going to pin this around here. Oh, you've got some?
Yeah, there you go.
Oh, thank you. Thanks very much. Thank you. You've got blue icing.
Have
around
I?
your- yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I just had another one of those cupcakes. There's no cupcakes left out there, is there? Go on, hop it. He's in a very challenging mood today, John. He's very trying today. He's been winding me up all morning. I could see when I got in this morning, he had this glint in his eye. And I just knew he was going to be trouble. He was crying all day yesterday, so it's a welcome change.
Well, I think actually what we all said in the meeting at the start was that you were going to be trouble.
Oh no, I think I'm warming up.
Yeah?
Yeah, I was very tired this morning, Becky.
Yeah, but you had been to the gym this morning, which
I
is
had,
very
and
impressive.
I mean, I'm not one to moan, but I think I might have done something to my back.
Well, exercised it.
Yeah, wow, that cuts deep.
I have to
I mean,
say,
of all the things that need to be exercised, a back is just such a... Oh, look, hasn't he got a beautiful back? No one's ever said that about anyone.
yeah, but it's supposed to be good for your core, isn't it? If your
Yeah.
back's strong and then your core's strong.
I don't know if I've got a core.
No, mine's hidden under a duvet of fat.
Mine's like a slinky. All over the place. Or like one of those inflatable men you see outside car garages. That's what mine's like. You know the ones I mean?
I know exactly what you mean, yeah.
One of those, yeah.
Do that again.
You know the ones? They make that horrible slapping noise. Not nice. Pat asks, says, Joe, please tell Becky she's a hero to do this zip on air. Bravest of the brave.
Well, you know, it's a lot easier to do these things at home, as I imagine you would all realise. It's never great doing these on live on air, but We're trying. I'm trying my hardest. So I've pinned all the way around the edge here, and I'm just going to stitch that all together. I haven't put this part here, which is the outside, yet, but I'm going to put that on afterwards, just to get the zip in the right place, and then sew around the edge.
I did ask my trainer, because the only reason I'm still going to the gym after a few months is because I've got a trainer and I really got on well with him. And he's very, very funny. He makes me laugh a lot. And, you know, I did say, could we just not do the workouts and just do sort of like the sitting and the chatting between sets bit? And he said, no, it wasn't how it works. If I wanted to continue going to him, I'd have to do the actual exercises.
Oh.
So
You just wanted him as your friend, really?
Just, you know, it's quite nice, you know. Like a bit of a life coach kind of situation. But, yeah, no, I have to do the actual exercises, apparently, if I go. So which I think is quite rude.
So basically, he said, yeah, I don't want to just sit and chat with you. I need you to pay me if you're going to do that.
Well, no, I offered to pay him just to do the sitting and chatting anyway, you know. But, you know, we could just sort of sit in the gym in kit as well, so I looked like I was doing workouts. But just do the sitting bit between the sets and not do the actual working bit. But no, apparently that's not allowed.
Well, I used to go to the gym quite a lot, as I'm sure everyone can tell by looking at me. Sometimes I just used to go and have a juice in the cafe.
Love it. I have often, when I lived in Peterborough, I have often been to the gym just for a juice. Yeah. Or just to go on the my favourite machine, the vending machine.
Where you win every time.
Win a prize every time, honestly. Only about 85p a go as well. It's amazing. Rhonda Crowe said, OMG, I love those socks that blow in the wind. Oh, they creep me out a bit, Rhonda. I'm not gonna lie.
I've just stitched around there, and I'm going to flip it round so I can stitch around the edge. I just wanted to do that with it first. So we're going to stitch around here now.
Pammy says, I love the pale dash and the navy swan fabrics. I love the dash. The pale dash is the spotty one, isn't it? That one. Ah, pale dash is a light. Oh, that one. Oh, amazing. Yeah, I love that one. The spotty one for me, I think, is my absolute favourite. I think it's really, really gorgeous. The spotty one will make a really lovely pocket hanky for a suit, for a very plain suit with a little bit of a...
Maybe for like a wedding, like a Cotswolds kind of wedding.
Yeah, like a kind of Cotswolds, you know, Marquee on the Lawn style wedding.
Oh, yeah, nice.
Oh, yeah.
Have you got any of those to go to?
No, not at the moment.
Not this year, maybe next year.
Maybe next year, maybe 2023 is the year.
I love a wedding.
Do you?
I do.
Yeah.
Although I'm a little bit fussy about the cake.
Oh, why?
Because I used to make cakes. I used to have a cake business.
If I ever get married, will you make my wedding cake for me?
There's a lot of pressure there.
Oh, okay, thanks.
Maybe, yeah, all right. I want to come to your wedding and enjoy it, not be worrying about the cake.
Really, you know, I'm not asking you to make the cake at the wedding reception. You can make it ahead of time. You haven't got to stand there in a pinafore doing it, you know, like in the marquee, like Great British Bake Off style.
Oh, okay, I've misunderstood. Yeah, absolutely, I'll make the cake.
Where do people go wrong with a wedding cake, Becky?
I don't know whether people go wrong, but I think there's such a high expectation for cake. And I think one of the problems is you go for something that's really, really fussy and beautiful, but the cake itself is a bit dry because it's been left
I'm thinking
around.
like Swiss meringue buttercream.
Oh, yeah.
And some sort of, maybe like a chocolate and berry on the inside, like a chocolate and raspberry.
Dark chocolate and raspberry or white chocolate?
Dark chocolate and raspberry, with some sort of flavoured Swiss meringue buttercream on the outside.
I had a croque and bouche for my wedding cake.
You should get that seed too. Oh, what now?
A croque and bouche.
On your wedding day?
For my wedding cake. Yeah, it's that big...
I know what it is.
You know what it is? Get your mind out the gutter. It's like a big pile of profiteroles.
Yes, and there's lots of like spun sugar holding them all together.
Yeah. So we had.
Did it hold? Did it stay up the whole day? Because they can go a bit droopy, can't they?
It did.
No, honestly, it's one of the biggest problems with croquant bouches is they go a bit floppy. Honestly.
It didn't droop at all. It was.
Sorry?
It didn't drip. It didn't droop at all the whole day.
No, honestly, if you ever watched the episode of the Great British Bake Off where they made them, they had to make their croquant bouches, put them together, and then they had to leave the tent for 2 or 3 hours to see if they stayed up the whole time.
Yeah.
And if they flopped over, that was it. They lost. See, true story.
And it's very difficult, you know, with those kind of things. You need a lot of sponge sugar, I think, is the
Croquant bouche.
croquant bouche.
Yeah, it's a
So French, isn't it a traditional French wedding
traditional
cake? I think?
French. Yeah.
Croquant bouche.
Yeah. Amazing. No, I don't fancy a croquant bouche for my wedding.
So I've sewn them around the wrong way.
You were too busy thinking about croquant bouche, weren't you? That's what's happened here. And then you sew it together back. You've sewn it together back to front. What do you want to do?
So this is how it should look. Like that. See, like that. That's just what I did.
So what's, just for the sake of, you know, helping the viewers out so they don't make the you've just shown people what not to do, which is great sometimes. What was the issue? Do you want to confess?
The best thing to do is, when you're doing it, is to read the instructions and follow the instructions.
Right.
Rather than giggling at Joe. That's all I've done wrong. I've just put everything round the wrong way, so, well, one side round the wrong way. That's it. So it's, you know, you can see how it should look. So that should be the outside, like that, and then we would have
inside,
another one of those on
there.
the inside, but we haven't got that today.
Okey-doke.
But that's basically how it works. Now, what I will do is, over the weekend, I will fix this.
Okay.
And I'll post it up on my
All right.
on my my site, so you can see how not to do it. But yeah, make it look like this, not like that.
Okay. So how many people were at your wedding?
A few,
How many? You're not telling us.
couple of hundred.
You're not. So you must. How big was the croquant bouche?
So
Oh wow!
Like that, kind of size. Yeah.
From the table to here, or from the floor?
yeah, the table was lower.
Right.
So yeah, quite big.
So you got everyone gets like a few profiterolles each.
Yeah, filled with Grand Marnier cream.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, it was good.
Love it.
If I can make such a statement with the bag that I didn't make, but you can see how lovely it makes.
Sure, are we going to put that into demo of the show? That bag.
The one that I didn't make.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean.
Look, not the one I did make.
Yeah, but you can redo it over the weekend, so we'll just pop that one in for now, and then you can, swap it out. Anyway, I think we should move on, Becky, don't you? Honestly. I tell you what I'd like to know in the comments. What was your wedding cake? Did you have a croquant bouche? Did you have a, I don't think, not fruit cake. I'm not into fruit
I
cake.
don't like fruit cake.
I think it's a little bit, yeah, I just don't like fruit cake.
Chocolate fudge cake's always good for wedding cake.
Oh, yes. Chocolate fudge cake. How do you make a chocolate fudge cake look pretty, though?
By covering it with icing.
Oh, so you'd still put white icing over it?
Yeah, I'd still make it look like a wedding cake, but I'd
With
make
chocolate
it chocolate
fudge cake. Yeah, I think chocolate cake is the way forward. Love the cake. Right, let me share with you these then. This is your first one here, the table tidy, as you can see, which is your first one. Then you've also got this one here, which is your double pouch organiser. And you've also then got the get organised as well. Then you're also going to receive as well, you've got the vinyl there, and you've also got, so this is the faux unicorn leather, I'm calling this, which is, it's just glorious. I mean, look at that. The things you're going to be able to do with that. I mean, amazing. It really, really is. And then what else you've got is your mesh as well, so that's going to be great for a sort of netting that you might want to use on there. $36.75 or $46.95. Lots of you going for this. Lots of you adding a extra of the vinyl into your basket as well. Rachel, our social media superstar, says mine was a couple of tiers. I believe chocolate was one layer at least. It was a long time ago. I do like the ones that seem to have a lot of like wild-looking edible flowers all over them, trailing down
And
them.
like a naked cake.
Oh
seen the
yeah,
maple
I
cakes?
love
They're
just a
quite
frost
nice.
plain, just like a crumb layer, just like a beautiful sponge
Yeah.
with like a crumb coating and nothing else.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe it should have like gold flakes over it as well. I'm thinking like gold leaf,
Or like some of our gilding
like gilding
flakes,
flakes.
but
We won't put them
edible
on. You
ones.
can't eat those, but
No.
some edible ones of those. Next up, we're going to look at the fabric, which is this one here. I need to give you some stock updates on these actually because it's very, very busy. This one here is your Navy Swan. Is he in the army? No, he's in the Navy. That is, get it, Vicky? Yay, she laughed. Half gone though. You'll have to be quick for that one. You've got the cream here, a quarter gone of the cream swan. You've got the water lilies, 15% of the water lilies gone. Flight, 10% of the flight gone. Talking of flights, when's your flight, Georgina? Next Sunday, well, a week on Sunday. Oh, bit of time off, I like it. This one here is a large flower, 5th of the stock gone there. My favourite, 5th of that one gone. The mustard circle, 5th gone. And 15% of the pale dash there as well. Brilliant. Sewing deal of the week is what we're going to have a little look at next. Let me bring this in again for you because it's a really great trio. This, ooh, I'm very sore. Right, your shape cut. Fabric cut. I don't think anyone would notice if you just took the one out of the inside and just left the box in the studio. You could do that.
Well, I don't think I should fit that in my suitcase.
Oh, it's got a little handle on it. You can hold it. Look, it's got a little handle on the side there. So you just carry it. You'd be able to hang it up on
I
the
would
train.
like one of those. Does it fit in the bag?
Sorry?
Does it fit in the purple?
Yeah, I could pop it in the bag for you as well. They might notice the bag's missing, but be all right. No one will
one will
complain.
know.
You get the fabric cutter, which is kind of like it's like a paper trimmer, but for your fabric essentially.
Yeah,
which is,
if you've watched it being used, it's really useful if you're going to be cutting strips of fabric and you don't want to use a rotary cutter. It's really good for you.
amazing, absolutely amazing. Then you've got the bag as well. And you'll get the A2 cutting mat totally free of charge, which is excellent. Pam E says, we had cheesecake wedding cake. It was delicious cake. 2 unfortunate things happened after. There was a huge storm a month later, so we lost our topper for anniversary. Then the business burnt. Oh no, doesn't sound good at all. Because I was bridesman I was bridesman of honour at a wedding a few years back. They had it Eurovision Saturday though.
Oh, so you weren't very happy?
Really bad. Well, they actually planned the wedding around me going to Eurovision when they did it a year before. But then what happened was the date of Eurovision got changed with about 6 months to go. And then it was the day of the wedding. So I spent most of the evening reception in my room watching Eurovision. True story.
I was
bridesman of honour, yeah, and spent most of the evening in my room watching Eurovision. It was just the way it was. At least I was there. They had a cake. Instead of having cake, they had cheese.
Oh, like
massive blocks of cheese.
I like that idea.
I think I'd like both, a wedding cake and a cake of cheeses.
Why not? I mean, you could do it, a little bit of everything, couldn't you? If that's what you want.
I mean, I'm not getting married, but in a hypothetical situation in which I was going to be married, Becky, if I'm not married by 40, I'll just have I'll marry myself at 40, that's what I'll do, and have a big celebration. I think that's I love me. Plain fabrics is where we are going to next, which are these ones just here. Buy one, get one free on these, and a lot of you choosing to multi-order, which is brilliant. So you've got your neutrals and you've got your pastels on there as well. Brilliant. Build a block, Bab of the week, build a block of the week. Which is this one just here. It is catchy. Oh. It's the Build a Block Plus that we are looking at. So those newer sizes for you, or an extension on of the original sizes. 4, 6, 8, 9 and 12-inch blocks, all possible with this. $74.99 or $104.96 here. Your platinum price is £60 or under $84. These are just excellent. I mean, I think if you are new to doing blocks, these are going to be brilliant, aren't they? Because you're getting that precise cut, precision every single time means it's going to be so much easier to sew. Yeah,
totally. I think that's the key thing. When I first started doing patchwork, I stuck with squares and triangles. I didn't really want to try anything else that was any complicated, and I didn't want to do things with too many points because there was there's too much of a margin of error for that. But this sort of eradicates that margin of error because you're going to be able to cut multiple layers of fabric and you know they're going to be super accurate. As always, they come in these great boxes. So the Builder Block original and also the Builder Block Plus come in these sort of big sort of stacks, so you can put them up together. And each drawer has got various shapes in there. So if we have a look at the isosceles triangle one, just open that out. Now all of them will have this kind of little roadmap in them, which shows you what you're going to be getting inside, and it will show you the sizing for everything. Now, if you've seen Sarah talking about these, she says she actually writes down on here with a sort of permanent marker as to what size everything is, so it's just easy to see initially.
Okey-doke.
And it's nice and big because, you know, this is quite a small font, so if you're finding, you know, that you're finding it a little bit tricky, just do that, and that's a great way of doing that. And they all sort of slot in nicely into these little boxes, so it keeps everything nice and tidy. Now you can tell these are a multimedia dies because of the copper colour, and that means that they're thicker than the normal papercraft dies. You can of course use these for papercraft, but they are sort of made to go through with our sort of fabric plates for cutting fabric. And you can do, I've done 8 layers of fabric that's been cut through perfectly okay with sort of quilting cotton. So you can cut out loads of bits and pieces, get them all done, and then start sewing them together. Now you'll notice when you've got points on them, like the triangles, you don't have a total point, you have a sort of, it's cut off at the end. And that's to do with having the sort of dog ears effectively when you're sewing your pieces together. Normally you would sew to a point and you would end up with a little bit of a excess piece of fabric just sort of sticking out at the end, and then we would cut those off. But because we're going to be using the Builder Block system and everything's being pre-cut for you, we're sort of taking that extra step away from you just to make it a little bit easier. So you've got your isosceles triangles here, you've got your right or half rectangle, caught that well, half rectangle triangles here, and they come in the same kind of format in that you've got all the sort of measurements on those as well. Now in your pack you will also get your book, your little booklet, which has got all the details about how to cut out the fabric. So when we talked in Wake Up Call earlier today, we were talking about the fabric and the grain line, having the fabric running in the right direction. So if I grab my piece of fabric here, I can't tell from this piece of fabric, because I don't have a selvage edge on it, which is my where my grain line's running. I mean, I could probably assume it's going this way because I've got this pattern which is showing here. But the way of being able to identify it is by giving it a bit of a pull. So if I pull it this way, there's not much give. But if I pull it this way, there's quite a lot more give. So I know that the grain line is running this way. If I was going to be cutting something on a cross, on a diagonal, it would show that on the details down here. And if you were cutting something on the curve, you would go like this. You can see there's a huge amount more stretch in that. And that's where it's really important if you're cutting something on a curve to make sure you've got your grain line in the right direction. So as we go through our little booklet, you'll see here, it tells you all the details about how to make these designs. Now these designs are sort of, you've got a number of different designs you can do here, but you've also you've got some on the outside of your box as well, so you can see how to put those together. Now if you're buying the original Builder Block, you'll find that in the booklet there are more designs, but on the packaging there's even more, and if you look at the website there's more designs that you can do just with those squares, half square triangles and quarter square triangles. Now in here you'll find tells you how many of each thing to cut out for different blocks and what sizes they all are. So for here, if you wanted 12-inch blocks for this point to point, you need 16 of the 6.5-inch by 3.5-inch half rectangles in 2 different colours to make that kind of design. And as you go through the little booklet, it will show you all the details about how to put them together, and it also shows you how to sew these individual things together. So for example, the Ninja Star, you would start off with your large your isosceles triangle and then your half rectangle in the same colour, as your isosceles triangle, and then you've got this half rectangle triangle down here in a different colour, and you sew them all together like that, and then you can see how you put those together to create that overall block and that overall pattern. As you go further into the booklet, it will have a few of these designs which tell you to, you'll need to use the original builder block system. So we'll have these different shapes here. So these half square triangles, for example, are the ones that aren't in the builder block system, builder block plus, they're in the original builder block. But you could always cut those out separately if you didn't have the original builder block. But you can see how by adding these builder blocks together, you can get a whole myriad of different patterns, different designs, and it just sort of it goes on. You can really sort of make all sorts of different designs here. So I've got a few finished samples I thought I'd show you, so you can see what they look like. So I've got here, let's move that out of the way. So this one here is a quilt that's been made using the just the rectangles.
Oh, nice.
Look how effective that is, and that
I
almost
love
makes
the,
it's like
what's
a
that
staircase.
quilting, the quilting pattern on there, do you know?
I don't know, but it looks like a kind of squiggle.
Is it just
doesn't
a
it?
sort of a freehand, do you think?
It could well be. It looks a little bit too perfect to me for it to be free motion. So it's possibly done with one of our quilting rulers, or something similar like that, or maybe done with a long arm quilter. I'm not too sure. But you can see how effective that looks. And that's really simple. And that's something that can come together very, very quickly. And that's what we're trying to do. We're trying to sort of save time in order for you to start putting things together. So if I look at half of this here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. There's about 20 pieces of each colour. So 60 pieces here, 120 pieces to make this quilt. You can imagine how long that would take if you were having to cut that by hand. Whereas if you're cutting 6 or 8 layers at a time, it's going to be so much quicker for you. I can't work out how quick that's going to be, but you're going to have that benefit of everything's going to match up because it's all been cut perfectly. As long as you use
So
your
just about 20 cuts then, really,
Yeah.
and you were done?
I love the fact that you worked that out. I couldn't have worked that out.
Oh.
No, I wouldn't have been able to do it. I'd have to phone a friend. But yeah.
Right, I think it's because my parents used to have a cash business. I used to give change all the time. That's why it made my mental arithmetic quite good.
It'd be good, handy at a craft fair. So when I'm doing a craft fair
Oh,
next,
I love a bit. I love
Excellent.
a bit of.
I've got one
that.
coming up. You can come and help me at that one.
When's it coming up?
June, beginning
Where
of
is
June.
it?
In Farnham,
Where's that?
Hampshire.
Oh, I'll come and help you.
Excellent.
You let me know. I'll be there.
Brilliant.
I probably won't because it's got a lot going on in June. But you can ask me, and I would love to come.
Says with 1 minute. 1 minute I'll be there. Next minute, no, I'll be
Gives with
too
one hand and takes with the other.
busy. Rude.
What date is it?
Um,
I'll check my diary now. It's fine. We'll get it sorted out. What date is it?
7 and 8th of June, I think.
The 8th. It's just a Wednesday.
No, it can't be then. It must be the 9th. It's a Friday and a Saturday.
Oh, I can do. I actually think I'm free on both of those days.
Excellent. You heard it here. Joe's going to be helping.
I'll be there.
Excellent.
Come down.
Brilliant. I'm looking forward to that. I can have a little bit of a rest. So you can see this one here. This is that windmill one that we were talking about earlier today. So if I show you on the
You will send a car for me, won't you, and put me up like in a 5-star hotel. Or you could fly me down. How far is it from Heathrow?
You can come in my car. I'll drive you.
Okay, brilliant. You gonna come pick me up?
I'll come pick you up.
Okay, excellent.
From London.
Right. Okay.
So this is the mill block one, which I did a little bit of that earlier today. Now look how effective that is. That is really beautiful, really sort of glorious quilt, and it looks quite intricate, but actually it's been really simply put together. So you've got this isosceles triangle here, and then you've got these 2 half rectangle triangles here to make that design. So really effective. Then the last one we've got here is this one here, which is a bit of a table runner, and this is just being made with the half rectangle triangles. Now that looks really effective. It's only being quilted in the white, and this is free motion quilting down here. But that looks lovely, doesn't it? And very, very simple to put together. And of course, you know, you're getting perfect points. They're going to match up perfectly because you're going to be using the builder block to cut them out, and then that eradicates any of that guesswork for you.
Amazing, absolutely is amazing. A really, really beautiful project. And loads of beautiful projects you can do. And also, I think you'll come up with your own blocks as well, I'm guessing, with that. You can really play around with it.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you might have some of our other shapes. You might have some of our other builder block systems. You know, you might not have this one already. You might have some of the Joe Avery ones, and you can always sort of mix and match and see how they work out. You know, obviously, if you're going to be using some of our other ones, you might just want to do one block of each and then put them all together. So following the little booklet that we've got inside here, and also in the other the builder blocks that we've done, and creating one block out of each one and then sewing them all together. And that would be a really nice way of doing it. If you did it all in the same colours, you know, that would sort of all work together, but you're showing off all your different skills using those different kinds of patterns.
Brilliant. So many different ways you can use them.
Absolutely. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to continue with the one that we did earlier today with the, it's this one here, it's called Classic Shutters. So I'm going to cut some more rectangles, and then I'm going to sew them together to make a kind of small table runner that we can use. So I'm using the largest rectangle here, which is a 6.5 by 3.5 rectangle. So I'm going to cut a few more out of these. There we go.
Very busy still on the fabrics, very busy still on the iridescent fabric. Lots of people still going for that on its own as well. Remember, there's another great show not far away here on Crafters TV, 6 p.m. here in the UK, which is 1 p.m. on the East Coast, 10 a.m. West Coast. Myself and Craig will be back for that glue school, which will be amazing.
So I really wanted to watch that, but I'll obviously be...
Watch it on the train.
I could watch it on the train.
Log into the
Because
Wi-Fi.
I always think that actually, you know, glue is quite... Using the wrong glue for something can absolutely ruin your project. You could spend ages doing something and then you use some, you know, some really wet glue and it ruins it.
Fabric glue on the show. We have got the fabric glue on the show as well.
And that fabric glue is fantastic if you're going to be doing something like a applique. So we've got some of our sort of applique shapes on the show as well, applique animals. That's really great for sort of sticking those together. But I find it really invaluable if I'm going to be doing a quilt or doing a block that involves curves. I find that fabric glue is really, really useful for that. I'm just going to trim that off. Okay. So I'm using the new fabric that we've got today, which I just love. I wish I could keep it all for myself and not use it.
Do you want me to slip some in your bag with the
yeah, I mean,
fabric
I might just
cutter?
as well just take everything home. This is the terrible thing about working here, because I want everything. You know, when I watch the shows, I'm the same as everybody else. I'm there with my phone going, oh, I think I need that, and then I think, oh, can't possibly fit any more in my house.
You'll be paying us. We won't be paying you. That's what'll be happening. Those plates. Do we still have the fabric plates available, Georgina? We're going to check.
The fabric plates, if nobody's had the fabric plates before, the fabric plates are much thicker than the normal plates that we use. So you've obviously used your same clear plates when you're running it through your Gemini, but your fabric plates are your metal plates, and they're really, really sturdy. So it just means that if you're going to be cutting multiple of these through your Gemini, they stop you getting too many marks on there. So you can see I've got a couple of marks there, but it's nothing in comparison to the way it would be had I been using a normal kind of sort of, you know, my normal plates.
Brilliant. They're not on the show, but they are available on the website. So do go over there and check them out.
So I'm going to do a couple of this one here as well, and then we're going to start putting those together. Ooh, is that the right size? Just checking that's going the right way.
Joanne Madigan says, at my daughter's wedding, there was a small cake for them to cut, but for all the guests, there was an ice cream sundae bar.
Ooh.
It was August and almost 100 degrees outside.
That's a great idea.
Ooh, some ice cream, bit of fruit, a few chopped nuts. Yes, please. Bit of chocolate sauce. Yum.
I love that idea. It's been great because I'm doing all these sort of, getting all these ideas for the my niece's wedding that's coming up, and it's great.
Are you making the cake for that?
Pardon?
Are you doing the cake for that?
No, she did ask me to do the cake, and I said I really didn't want the pressure.
Oh, she'll be fuming when I tell her that you're doing mine.
Well, I'm chief bridesmaid.
Oh, okay. Well, she wanted you to make the cake at the reception as well?
Yeah, she said, would I like to make the cake? And I was like, no.
So, what's the pressure around? Can we talk about the pressure of making someone's wedding cake? Is there quite a lot to do on the day when it comes to providing
it depends what the cake's like, really. So I've done cakes before. I did a cake for a wedding, and the cake was it was the height of summer, and the wedding wasn't. The wedding had already happened. It was like a party afterwards that we were doing the cake for, and it was so hot on the journey there that we'd had to pack the cake in dry ice to keep it cold.
What was it made of?
We're just made of normal cake, but it'd been so hot, I'd had to get up in the middle of the night to ice it when it was cooler.
Wow.
It was sweltering, absolutely sweltering. And there's always that pressure of getting it right, because it's a really important day. You want to make sure that the bride is super happy with what she's getting, and the groom. But there is a huge amount of pressure to make sure that, you know, it's exactly the way you want it to be, isn't there?
Absolutely.
So I don't think, cut those around the wrong way, I don't think it really matters. But, you know, so that was the pressure. And I think there's a lot riding on a cake, because, you know, people will go, oh my goodness, yeah, they'll look, no, come and make a point of going to look at the cake, won't they? And it's in all the pictures and everything. But I did a friend's cake, and she wanted sugar roses on it, and the sugar roses took me maybe 2 weeks to make.
Oh my word! How many were there?
Oh, probably about 20, 30 of them.
Right.
But they look exactly like real roses, and there was edible lace on the cake as well, which took quite a long time to do.
How do you make an edible lace?
You use a special mould, and you sort of put this kind of special icing through the mould, and you leave it to dry. It's almost got not silicone in it, but it's got something that's sort of almost a kind of gum, I suppose, to allow it to be a little bit movable. And whilst it's not quite completely dry, you take it off the moulds, and then you place it on the cake. You have to sort of glue it onto the cake.
Oh wow!
But you know, there's always that kind of pressure to make sure it's perfect, because you know you want it to be perfect. No, of course you do. More so than perhaps at a birthday. But yeah, so I've always been reluctant to do wedding cakes if I get asked. I did have.
What about divorce cakes?
I've not
divorce party cakes. A lot of people having divorce parties now, aren't they? It's becoming a bit of a thing, yeah.
I've not been to one.
Have you not?
No. Maybe. I've got quite a few friends on their sort of second weddings,
right?
But not had a divorce party cake.
Oh.
I do like a cake, and I do get.
I mean, I'd get divorced for a cake, to be honest.
If it's a really
if
good
I was
cake,
married, which I'm not.
If it's a really good cake, then why wouldn't you? You know.
Why wouldn't you, indeedy? Any questions you've got, get them into me. Crafters TV on Facebook, Crafters Companion over on YouTube. Not willing to make wedding cakes, will make divorce cakes. That's what I'm taking away from this. Less pressure. Less pressure,
yeah. But you know, when you watch some of those shows where they're making extraordinary cakes and they look like something else, you know, there's a lady that I follow on social media who does cakes that look just like handbags, and you actually hold them up by the handle.
Wow.
And they sort of take their own weight. And I think you look at some things like that and you're like, wow, they're incredible. But you know, do the cakes. I mean, there's that program on Netflix, I think. I think it's called Is It Cake? And they have,
you haven't seen that?
They have cakes that look like, there was one that looks like a shell, and you have to try and identify which one's a cake and which one is the actual shell.
Do you
and
remember?
They're so good.
Do you remember Nailed It? Do you remember that Netflix show?
What?
Where Nailed It, where people would try to replicate cakes. They would like make them, where they would make them do just make cakes. So she was a professional baker, and they'd get a professional, and they would make the cake, and they'd have amateur bakers, and they'd try to recreate it, and it would be like a castle made out of, you know, sugar clay or something, and they'd be like, and they'd unveil it, and it was like all fallen over, and she'd be like, nailed it. Yeah, it's very funny.
I've not seen that, but I look back at my original cakes and I think, my goodness, they're shocking. They are really terrible. and I was proud of them at the time. But you get better over time, don't you? The more things that you do in any kind of craft or anything that's creative, the more times you do them. I mean, I think if you had people, some of our craft experts here, if you had a look at the cards that perhaps they made before they started doing it professionally, they'd be, thinking, gosh, how did I manage to do that? And you look at the things they produce now, and they're just exquisite.
I don't think I'm a bad baker, Becky, but a bad baker, Becky. I don't think I'm a bad baker, Becky. A bad baker, Becky.
How many times can you say that? That's going to be our little, your little tongue twister.
A bad baker,
Bad
Becky.
baker.
But my bakes taste good, but look terrible. I'm not very artistic. I think that's my issue.
Would you not have liked to go on one of those? You couldn't. We've talked about this before. You couldn't do one of those shows, could you? Like a bake-off.
No, because I've kind of worked as a chef, so
Yeah.
I wouldn't be able to do it, unfortunately. I'd love to do Come Dine With Me. Can you imagine?
Oh, I've got a few friends that have done Come Dine With Me.
Yeah, a couple of people I've worked with in the past have done Come Dine With Me. One of my friends won it, actually. And then another one did it, and she was a vegan. She came last.
There was one I saw years ago, and the women had an awful lot to drink during the preparation of the food, and they ended up not actually eating until about midnight or something, which I felt quite sorry for all of the people waiting for their food. It must have been quite irritating. So what I've done now is I've sewn together, I've done 2 blocks here with that beautiful fabric. So I'm going to make a very quick and easy table runner. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to cut another piece of fabric about the same kind of size, and I'm going to make some binding to go around the edge. Now normally I would use some of our batting in here, so use some of that 80-20 batting, but I've used all mine up for the bags that I've been doing, so I haven't got any more to put in there. But you don't have to use batting if you didn't want, but obviously if you're going to be using this as table runner, you might want to put bits and pieces on here. It's quite good to have that extra sort of way of putting everything together. So that one, you want that one going that way really, but we're not going to worry about that. So I'm just going to cut a piece of fabric so it's around about the same size. So let's use some of the crane fabric.
For my 21st birthday, I had a 3-tiered chocolate cake, and in the top of it, it had a bottle of champagne submerged into the top of the cake. And then it had loads of like streamy things coming out of it. So basically it looked like the bottle of champagne was exploding out the top of the cake. It was very clever.
That's brilliant.
Yeah, really cool.
And how old were you when that happened?
21.
21? They didn't do cakes when I was 21. It was that long ago.
You what?
They didn't do cakes when I was 21.
What did they have?
It was that long ago.
Tuppenny licks?
We got coal.
Coal.
I'm really old.
You would have had a cake for your 21st birthday, surely. You're being facetious. You are not old, Becky.
I did have a cake for my 21st, but I had a cake. I was on my 21st, I was flying to New York for my 21st. I went to New York for my 21st. So my boyfriend was a day older than me, so that's what we thought we would do, go to New York for our 21st. So we flew out and we had a cake on the plane. That was back when you could you could take food to different countries for a start.
You can take food on the plane now.
Yeah, but you couldn't take it.
You can't take it off the plane, can you?
I don't think you could take it off the plane then, actually. But then we also had the opportunity to go to the flight deck and meet the captain.
You're going to say the driver then, weren't you?
Yeah. Yeah. Back those years ago, so that was quite good. It was quite a good fun thing to do. And we went to see. We went to New York and we went to see Phantom of the Opera.
Oh wow!
Which was amazing.
Yes, it's back in the West End now. It was meant to be on tour, but I think it's been cancelled, unfortunately. I went to see Les Mis a couple of weeks ago. That's on tour. It never gets old, that one.
So I've not watched that. I haven't even watched the film. I've just not. I know.
Well, if you've got nothing to do, you need to do that as a matter of urgency, as a point of urgency.
As an emergency.
Yeah, it's so good. The film is excellent, the most recent one.
But it will make me cry, and I don't like films that make me cry. Oh. Will it make me cry?
Will it make you cry? Yeah, I cry every time.
So I still cry when I watch West Side Story, the original.
The original. I was going to go see the new one. It's been out, hasn't it? But it's it's 3.5 hours long with no break.
Oh, that's a long time.
It's too long.
Yeah.
I mean, go to the theatre. 3.5 hours is doable because, you know, a couple of hours, 20-minute interval.
Yeah.
Little sip of something delicious in the bar and then back in again. Whereas 3.5 hours, very long time.
It is a long time. But then I think lots of films are really long now. All the sort of Marvel films are really long, aren't they? That's just how it is nowadays. Gone are the 2-hour long or an hour and 30-minute long things that we used to watch. Rather than doing any binding, I'm just going to put these two pieces together. So I'm going to put them right sides together, and I'm just going to stitch around the edge to finish that off. And that makes it's almost like, I would say, rather than a table runner, this is almost like a little mat for your plants. That's what I reckon. Yeah, that's what.
Do you want me to come and sort you out? Debbie, Debbie. Why have I called you Debbie?
But loads of people call me Debbie.
It's because you've got blonde hair like Debbie Fisher, that's why.
No, it's because of my sister. That's what I reckon.
Sorry?
So my sister was called Debbie, and my sister died. And I always think that people always call me Debbie.
Oh, wow.
And I think it's because she tries to get in there. She was like, trying to get a little bit involved. I'm so glad that I've got somebody else to dress me. So I'm just going to iron
Where is it gone? What? Where have you clipped it to? Hang on, come here. No, it's all fallen. It's all fallen out. Sorry.
Don't worry.
1 second. Don't worry. No, we'll be fine. That bit needs to go around there, and then that bit needs to go.
See, this is why I need someone to dress me in the morning.
I had to dress you this morning. I was going to do your bow for you. It's flopping everywhere.
Thanks, Joe.
You're welcome.
Right, so I'm just going to give this a quick iron, and I'm going to stitch all the way around the outside. I'm going to leave a little gap to turn it around the right way, and then we've got a little bit of a little mini runner, I suppose, for want of a better word. But if you were just starting out and trying to sort of get to grips with patchwork and you've never done anything before, these are, using the builder block is just it makes everything so much easier for you. And being able to make something like this really quickly. I always think that when you first start out with a craft, you want to achieve something to keep you going, and being able to do something like this is really important. So that you could make something quick and easy, like this little table runner that you have at home in no time at all. So I'm just going to pin around the edge so it doesn't move. And then if I was doing this at home, I would have put a piece of wadding on here, or a piece of batting on this side, and I'll just adhered it and then turned everything round afterwards, just so it gives it a bit more structure, a bit more substance.
Perfect.
So around the edge. Okay.
What a good friend you are, Joe. I try, Pam. I do try. Sometimes I'm trying. Sometimes I try. Pam says, my mum stopped making cakes for us at 16, but every year now she makes me an apple pie. My mum's pies are so good. We all fight over them, so every year she makes us a pie each.
Oh, that's a nice idea. I like that idea.
Delicious. Maybe I could have a wedding quiche.
Does everyone like quiche? I mean, I like quiche.
I mean, it's my wedding. Who cares?
Quiche Lorraine?
Yeah.
Yeah? Or vegetarian quiche?
Sorry?
Vegetarian quiche?
Vegetarian. I like a salmon and asparagus quiche.
Oh.
Because it will be summer, you know, in the Cotswolds. All that lovely local salmon they have in the Cotswolds.
I think that a quiche would be quite nice. I definitely like the idea of a cheesecake.
Bacon rolls towards the end of the night.
Oh, yeah.
That's the best bit of any wedding for
Yeah.
me. I'm going to a wedding at the beginning of August, actually. It's at Burley House in Stamford.
Oh, that's supposed to be very
that'll
nice,
be
isn't it?
divine. My friend Evie is getting married, so that'll be gorgeous. A lovely wedding. It was meant to have happened 2 years ago, so it's finally happening. She's been engaged forever. But I was saying on air the other day, she sent me the invite, had a black envelope with metallic mark, I don't think they were Spectrum Nars, but it had metallic pen, and it was handwritten, the address, which I always love. It had a wax seal with their initials on the back in black.
Nice.
I opened it up, and then the wedding invite was like a flyer for like a gig almost, and it had a QR code that you scanned, which took you to their wedding website, and it gave you all the information you needed. I was able to add all the wedding details to my calendar at a click. I could RSVP. It had the gift list there, the dress. It was all there on a website. How clever!
That's a really good idea. I like that idea.
So now this friend actually makes cakes for a living. So I wonder if she's going to make her own cake for her wedding.
So I just think you want to enjoy the day without the pressure, but then everyone would be expecting you to make the
I mean,
cake,
it's your
wouldn't
cake. No one's going to tell you your cake's terrible on your wedding day, are they? No. You know, and be like, oh, it's lovely. We both did the same sound effect there.
So I've sewn around the outside, round the outside, round the outside, and I've left a little gap for turning, but I'm going to use my scissors just to trim the corners off, and then I'm going to turn it round. So we've created this little table runner. I do love this fabric.
The lady is not for turning. That's what goes through my head every time someone says they're going to turn something out.
What was that, Margaret Thatcher?
Yeah. Did you not get it from the very good?
No, I thought it was a queen.
Oh, tough crowd again. Honestly, you cut deep all day today.
Okay. So just poke those little corners out, and then we'll give it a press, and then we'll just slip
That would be a lovely, lovely cushion for a bed. I could see that in my
cushion.
Could see that in my spare room actually.
Oh, it gets relegated to the spare room.
Oh no, because it wouldn't go with the decor in the main room. It would go beautifully. I've got a rose gold bed frame in the spare room.
Perfect.
I mean, it would go perfect with that.
I'll finish it off for you.
Oh yes.
So you can see what that will look like. I'm just going to finish off around the edge.
It's going to be demo of the show, so I have to hope it doesn't win.
It is the only demo of the show, I think.
Okay.
So.
I mean, I think I can assure it doesn't win for you if you want me to. Yeah, well, I mean, I'm going to have to, but actually it's going to be card of the day, isn't it? It's going to be project of the show, because Craig's not going to do a demo in the later show.
Is he not?
No.
Oh.
So, but we didn't have anything from the earlier show, did we? So
no,
this is by default the demo of the day. So I need to clip a little note to the back of this for Ben, who's in on Sunday, and say, when you make this not win demo of the week, can you put it in the green room for me, please?
My demos never win demo of the week, so I still haven't got a star up on the board.
I thought the duck, what was it, a duck or a chicken? What was it? What was he called?
My chicken.
What was his name?
Oh God, gave him a really stupid name, didn't I? Like Brian or Russell.
No,
or
it wasn't. It wasn't that one.
Was it Archibald the chicken?
No, it was
something else.
No, I can't remember what it was. It was a funny name though. I think you can remember it. I think it might have been something. Yeah, I don't know. Let's move on.
So I'm going to stitch this a little bit because I might as well finish it off because it will be demo of the show. If I was going to be doing this as a proper kind of wall hanging or a table runner, I would have put some batting in there, and then I would have wanted to do some kind of quilting on here as well. But you can see that is just one block here, and then we've put the second one together. You can see how it starts to build up. Now you could do one block like this, and you could do the other one and the other way round, and that would look quite nice as well. So you've got a starting point to start off with your quilt making very, very easily, just using those rectangles from the builder block of the week.
Amazing, absolutely amazing. Make sure you are grabbing these, which is, they are absolutely awesome. You can get 4, 6, 8, 9 and 12-inch blocks from that particular collection, and it works brilliantly with our original builder block system, or it works brilliantly in conjunction or as a standalone as well, which is amazing. I'm going to remind you about those templates. You guys are absolutely loving these. Very, very busy. It is your new launch as well for today, so absolutely excellent that you've got these. This one here is your table tidy that you've got just there. Then you've also got your double pouch organiser, and you've got the Get Organised, which is amazing. And then, of course, you've got the faux unicorn leather. It's not what it's called. It's called iridescent vinyl. But I wonder if this would cut on like a scan and cut or a Cricut. I bet it would if you stuck it down onto your low-tack mat.
Yeah, I think it would do.
Can you imagine what? Because then you could do all sorts with it. Obviously, I can't say it will, but you'll know if you've got a Brother Scan and Cut or a Cricut. You'll know your machine, and I know lots of them do cut vinyl. So I'm just thinking what else you could do then. Love that idea. The mesh as well, you're going to get that included in there too. Really busy there, £36.75, £46.95. They are beautiful, but very practical as well, Becky, aren't they?
They are, and you can use these for all sorts of different things. So we were saying you make a few of these, pop those in the boot of your car. They could be a nice sort of organiser for the boot of the car. You could put a strap on these and make them into a proper bag. Or you've got these little handles here, but these make great sort of storage ideas for you. You could make a couple of these in different colours and have them sort of storing kids' toys in, so everything colour coordinates with the fabric and the cushions that you may have at home. So you've got your little zip pocket here with your vinyl sort of bits and pieces here. Then you've got your mesh pocket here with your handles, and then on the other side you've also got your little mesh pockets here, and we've stitched along those so you could just sort of fit bits and pieces in there without getting them lost. So that is the table tidy. Then the next one is the bag which I've pulled apart, which I have to try and find again. Let's go to this one first of all. So this is the Get Organised. This is the one that looks a little bit like a portfolio. So you have little clips here so you can put all these together, sort of just snap fasteners here so you hold everything together like so. You've got lots of little pockets and bits and pieces in here. So you've got a pocket over here that you could put your Gemini plates in, and then you've got these detachable little pockets here, zip pockets. You can fit all your crafty bits in there, and there's nothing to stop you from making far more than these than the 4 that we've got in here. So you could have all of your little dies, your little findings, your embellishments, or perhaps you're working on a project and you're going to be cutting loads of little flowers out. You can store them all in here before you start actually making your projects, putting your embroidery threads in there. There's lots of different options you can do in here. And then you've also got a pocket on this side, and you've also got a little pocket down here as well. So really, really useful for you. And then the last one, I'll just have to get another one out of the bag. Why can I not find one?
Don't forget to check out your baskets. What I would say, it's very busy now as we move towards the end of the show. Have you got your last one? Was it in there?
No, I can't find it. That's because I stole it. Didn't I? Stole it for the one it didn't work. So you've got, this is your double pouch. So this is your little sort of bag here. This is the main bag with your little pockets in there. And then you've got your other bag, which is like the one that I made, but correct, which I cannot find. I think you've got one over there, Joe. I've got...
What am I looking for? The little iPad bit?
Yeah, you've got one over there. So you've got that in a different fabric. So you can see how that little zip pocket comes off.
Oh, cute.
And you can just then put your makeup brushes in there, or perhaps you want to use it as a painting thing, so you can have all your paints in there, and then put your paintbrushes in that little bag as well. So really good items for you to make yourself, but also fantastic for you to start making them as gifts for other people.
Amazing. Don't forget, Becky not back with us next week. You'll be back in 2 weeks' time, won't you?
2 weeks' time, yeah.
Soft Side Live going forward will be here every 2 weeks. So I'm very much... No, you are back next week. No, you're not.
I'm not. No.
You're back on the 20th.
Yeah.
I knew I was right. We'll see you then. Pleasure, as always. A very interesting show. I loved it.
Apart from the bits that go wrong. But it doesn't matter because things always go wrong.
They do.
Yeah.
That's what happens. That's the way it is. I'll see you back here in 2 hours. Make sure you check out your baskets. Bye-bye now.